Dear students, our next topic is seasons and apparent movement of the sun. In the last class, we have already discussed about reasons of seasonal change. What is apparent movement of the sun? Since the parallelism is maintained same throughout the revolution, the position of the sun in relation to the earth varies apparently between Tropic of Cancer and Tropic of Capricorn. This is known as apparent movement of the sun. As a result of the apparent movement of the sun in between Tropic of Cancer and Tropic of Capricorn, there happen different seasons like spring, summer, autumn and winter in a cyclical manner. It repeated in a cyclical manner. We have already discussed that seasonal changes are not obvious, clearly present in the tropical region and in the frigid region. Why it is not obvious? Because the incidence of the large amount of sun rays throughout the year in the tropical region. But the seasonal changes are very clear, or it is clearly felt in the mid-latitudinal positions or temperate zone. So the main seasons are spring, summer, autumn and winter. Dear students, look at the diagram. What is the importance of A and C? The position of sun. Where is the sun situated? The position of sun is vertically above the equator in the position A and C. The position of sun is vertically above the equator. And what is about B? Where is the position of the sun? In the B, sun rays fall vertically over the Tropic of Cancer. Vertically over the Tropic of Cancer. And what about D? The position of sun is vertically above the Tropic of Capricorn. Okay. Now A and C, the position of sun is on equator. B, position of sun is above the Tropic of Cancer. And D, position of sun is above the Tropic of Capricorn. In the position A, or when the sun is vertically above the equator, what happens? Equal amount of sunlight is received in both the hemispheres. Isn't it? While when the sun is vertically above the equator in 2 days in the year, that is A and C. Here A is March 21. A is March 21 and C is September 23. So when March 21 and September 23, the position of sun is directly above the equator, equal amount of sunlight is received in both the hemispheres. So equal day and night in both the hemispheres, and these 2 days are called as equinox. They are called as equinox. When the sun is above the Tropic of Capricorn, that is, the day is June 21, what happens? There will be longest day in northern hemisphere. Longest day and shortest night in northern hemisphere. And that day is called as summer solstice. What is it? Summer solstice. And what about D? When the sun is directly above the Tropic of Capricorn, it is on the day December 22. What happens? Longest day and shortest night in southern hemisphere. Is it clear? In March 21 and September 23, they are called as equinox. June 21 is called as summer solstice and December 22 is called as winter solstice. Okay. Now look at this diagram. We have already discussed and studied about the different positions in the apparent movement of the sun. Now we have to discuss about the seasonal change. Now look at this diagram. Here in the position A, what happens? It is the equinox day, March 21. Is it? Now, when the sun moves from equator to Tropic of Cancer, equator to the apparent movement of sun from March 21 to June 21. March 21 to June 21. The apparent movement of the sun from equator to Tropic of Cancer. What happens? The season in the northern hemisphere is spring. The season in the northern hemisphere is spring. Then in the next 3 months, the apparent movement of the sun is from Tropic of Cancer to equator. From Tropic of Cancer to equator. That is from June 21 to September 23. The season in the northern hemisphere is summer. Season is summer. Then the next movement, in the next 3 months, the movement of the sun, apparent movement of the sun is from equator to Tropic of Capricorn. Equator to Tropic of Capricorn. That is from September 23 to December 22. The seasonal change happened. Then which is the season? Autumn. Autumn in the northern hemisphere. Autumn in the northern hemisphere. Then in the next 3 months, sun shift towards the equator and it moves from Tropic of Capricorn to Tropic equator. From December 22 to March 21, the shift of the sun from Tropic of Capricorn to equator, and the seasonal change is autumn to winter. Here it is the winter, and it is the circular movement or cyclical movement of the seasonal change. Now look to the diagram. In the northern hemisphere, we experience spring, summer, autumn and winter. In the southern hemisphere, when in the northern hemisphere it is spring season, there will be autumn season in the southern hemisphere. Just look, the opposite of spring is autumn. It is clear from the diagram. Okay. Next, When the northern hemisphere experiences summer season, the southern hemisphere experiences winter season. Winter season. When the northern hemisphere experience autumn season, the southern hemisphere experience spring season. And when it is winter in the northern hemisphere, there will be summer in the southern hemisphere. Okay. Now I think you will be clear the seasonal change happened in northern and southern hemisphere and the 4 positions of the apparent movement of the sun. Importance of the days like March 21, September 23, June 21 and December 22. Their names, their features, etc. Okay. Now we have to discuss 2 more topics. It's very easy. Okay. Now listen. Following the winter solstice, the sun sets its northward apparent movement from Tropic of Capricorn to Tropic of Cancer. In the next 6 months, the sun have the northward apparent movement from Tropic of Capricorn to Tropic of Cancer. And it is called as the northward movement of the sun from Tropic of Capricorn to Tropic of Cancer is called as Uttarayanam. What is it? Uttarayanam. Uttarayanam. That is. Now, following the summer solstice, the sun sets its southward movement from the Tropic of Cancer to Tropic of Capricorn from June 21 to December 22. In the next 6 months, sun has the movement from Tropic of Cancer to Tropic of Capricorn, or the southward movement of the sun is called as Dakshinayanam. Dakshinayanam. So I think you have clear the 2 topics, Uttarayanam, 2 concepts like Uttarayanam and Dakshinayanam. The northward movement is called as Uttarayanam and the southward movement of the sun is called as Dakshinayanam. Okay.